Well, her new boy toy, he effed around and found out. You're right. He was gone off that liquid courage, and yeah, he got dealt with.
Ex-girlfriend caught cheating at girls' night out. My ex-girlfriend went against me, telling her I didn't want her going out for girls' night outs. I wonder how many times she's done this behind my back. She tried telling me she was going to bed, but I knew something was up. I trusted my gut. She was out with some guy I've never seen before, and her girlfriends were with guys as well. So, on a Sunday, we were on FaceTime off and on throughout the day. That was usual for us. For the 14 months we were together, that was usual. We FaceTimed every day, but on weekends, most of the day if we weren't physically together. So throughout that Sunday, we are talking and jumping off FaceTime. Her phone had died. My phone would die. I'd have to run here. You'd have to handle something at home. You know, things like that. I remember we got off FaceTime around 7 p.m. and we both said that we were going to prepare dinner for ourselves and go do some things around the house and things like that. And she told me she was going to call me back at 11 when her phone was charged. I threw my phone on the charger. This is typical for us. Before, if she called back at 11 or 12 at night, we are just on the phone for like 30 minutes to an hour. We were on the phone until 6 in the morning. She was drinking and she wanted me to take a drink, but I actually quit drinking some months ago. Just because I know what alcohol does, I've seen what it's done to my family. I never was a big drinker, but honestly, when I got with her, I started drinking a little more. Not saying that I didn't drink before her, because I definitely did. Actually, there was a time in my life where drinking for me was pretty bad, but I had stopped years before I met her. But then I met her, and I started drinking again, because I just enjoyed drinking with her. It was fun. We'd have late nights together. Sometimes we'd drink and just have the best conversation, just having an amazing time together, and it just wasn't the sex. The sex was great, but just talking to her made me feel so good. We could talk about absolutely anything, guilt free. No one's ever made me feel so damn comfortable, and I felt so comfortable around her. We were both responsible. We'd get a hotel room or stay at my place and be locked inside, safe and sound. And I know being reckless and driving drunk, etc. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble, so she called me back at 11, like she said she would. She's doing some stretching, so I can't see her face in the phone. I'm thinking, what are you up to? What's going on? She says, you don't hear me over here stretching? I'm trying to stretch my back. It hurts. Okay, keep doing what you're doing. We're just talking, and her face then enters the screen. Eventually, she pulls her head in the screen, and then it kind of pans down, and I can see her neck. There's something wrapped around her neck. I thought that's odd. What is she wearing? She went down a little bit more, and it was like a lace type of material. And I said, are you wearing lingerie? She's quiet for a second, then says, yes. I bought this online. I just wanted to get it because it looked good. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this, and this should have been a red flag, but we hadn't had sex in a month and a half. I was actually complaining about it before we had just recently got over an argument about it. She was telling me how her hormones were a little weird and not right, and she's trying to get back to where she was, and she apologized and told me it wasn't me, it's her. I'm thinking, but if you told me this weeks ago and you go buy lingerie, that's going to trigger red flags in me. That would for anybody, right? But then she's telling me how she bought a blue one, which is my favorite color. She bought a blue one because it's my favorite color, but the one she had on was white. I'm thinking, why buy the white one then? I said, why did you buy those? We're not even having sex. You told me for weeks you weren't in the mood, yada yada. She almost lost her cool. She yelled a little bit and said, because I wanted to. And then she straightened it up and said, I just saw it and I thought it was cute. And I bought it for you. Do you think I bought this for someone else? You guys, I never accused her of anything, but she started saying, Do you think I would buy this for someone else? Do you think I would wear this for someone else? Why would I jump on FaceTime with it on? If it wasn't for you, I put this on for you, I said, but you weren't really showing me. I had to call it out, and then she proceeds to tell me how she hadn't shaved in weeks down there since we last did anything. I guess trying to say that means she hadn't had sex with anybody else. This night was so weird. We stayed on the phone the entire night until 6 a.m., which was very, very odd for us. I just started getting this gut feeling. Something is off. Something is going to happen. I remember one thing she said to me that night. She apologized to me. So, we didn't have the most perfect relationship. Things she did in the past that made me worry and wonder. She told me how she's trying to change and become a better person. And she told me how she was sorry for what she did in the past. And she apologized for anything she'll do in the future because she's not perfect. Red flag again, right? Now, I'm not saying she was cheating on me before, but she did something that really rubbed me the wrong way. So, months prior, though, she was asking me about girls' night out. She knew how I felt about a girls' night out, and I wasn't cool with it. She told me she wasn't going to do it ever because it made me uncomfortable, and that was it. All right, so back to the night we stayed up at 6 a.m. I was falling asleep on the phone. She actually told me I could see your eyelids struggling. She was telling me all these stories that were actually very interesting and entertaining, things that happened to her in the past, and we were kind of trading stories, but she was really telling most of the stories, and I was very entertained and keeping myself up listening, but at 6 a.m., I went to sleep. I got off the phone. That day was really weird. Didn't talk as much after that night. She was bringing up how she wanted to hang out with her friends because her friends said they missed her and they needed a girls' night out. I reminded her how I felt about it, and I told her if she did go, she's basically going against me, and I don't see how we're going to work out if you're going to be going against me all the time. If you feel like that's more important to you, then go for it. Cody. She tells me how that's not important, and she loves me. She says she's willing to get rid of that part of her life for me if it makes me comfortable. So that day was a little weird. She really wasn't responding to my text messages, ignoring my calls, telling me lame excuses. It didn't bother me much. I just got work done. Figured, well, it's not that big of a deal, but at 8 p.m. that night, we talked on FaceTime for 30 minutes, and she sat on the phone talking about how tired she was and how wore out she was. Staying up late that night has really messed up her sleep patterns, how she needs to go to bed early to get back on track. I said, okay, it made sense to me, but I'm not going to lie. My gut feeling is feeling a little weird, but I was thinking, well, this is a Tuesday. Who goes out on Tuesday? I thought about it. People go out on Tuesdays all the time. Just because it's not a weekend doesn't mean women aren't out partying. So anyway, we tell each other good night, we say we love each other, and she goes to bed. Yeah, right. I tried to go to bed as well, but I couldn't. I just had this gut feeling that she was lying to me. I decided to hop in my car since I wasn't sleepy and just drive by her place to see if her car is there. Then I thought while driving there, well, if her car is there. That doesn't mean she couldn't have jumped in the car with one of her girlfriends or something. So I get to her place. I drive by and her car is gone. That confirmed that I was right about her being sneaky. Something just didn't feel right. I'm here to tell you all to please trust your gut feeling. If you feel like someone's lying to you, they're lying to you. If you feel like someone telling the truth, then they're telling the truth. Just always remember that. Anyway, I tried to think of ways of finding her. It's not like I had a tracking device on her car or anything, so I sat there in front of her house, thinking that she'll just pull back up because maybe she went out to the gas station to get a Slurpee. She loves those little icy flavored things, but she never came back. I take a look on Facebook, and guess who's live? Not my ex-girlfriend, but her best friend Cheryl. Cheryl is sitting at a tabletop with other girls that I did recognize. My ex-girlfriend's other friends as well. She's recording, showing the club that they're at. It's a sporting bar here in our town. Celebrities come, and there was a rapper coming that night to perform. Now, the entire time I'm watching the live, I didn't see my girlfriend in the picture, but I could hear somebody next to Cheryl say, "Girl, turn your camera over there." I don't want to be in your video, but I couldn't tell if that was my ex or not. I know exactly where they were. I've been to that bar quite a bit with my ex. So I drive straight there, and the stream is just playing on my phone while I'm driving. I was on the entire time. Even when I confronted them, I still have the video when I walked up to the table. I got to the bar. I got there just in time. They were closing the door from letting other people in. I was one of 3 that just got in. There were a lot of angry people outside. This rapper isn't like a Drake or anything, but I think he got pretty popular on TikTok or something. Something went viral, but anyway, I get there, and I just started looking. I knew where the tabletops were, and I knew they were looking down towards the stage. I made my way up. There is my ex-girlfriend with her friends, some guy. She's with the guy I've never seen before. I approached their table, and I asked my girlfriend, "What the hell is she doing?" She's just looking at me in shock, and then the girlfriend that I cannot stand because she never liked me in the first place. She's telling me that I'm making things uncomfortable and I need to leave because I'm embarrassing everyone. You guys, I never raised my voice. No one else even noticed anything until she started yelling at me. I calmly approached the table, asked my girl what she was doing. The music was pretty loud anyway. I'll never forget that annoying DJ screaming over music he was playing. Anyway, I asked my girl again, "What are you doing?" "I thought you were going to sleep. Why are you hanging out? And who is this guy?" I didn't even acknowledge the guy or look at him. I'm talking straight to her. She eventually starts talking and tells me he's just a friend, that it meant nothing more. Then the friend says, "You're so insecure she can't have guy friend?" Wow, what's that say about you? Please leave this prick already, Lisa. I thought about throwing a drink in her face, but I didn't want to cause any commotion, so I told my girlfriend, "Look here, one thing I don't tolerate is lying deception. I'm going to do myself a favor and X you out of my life." I just turned around and I walked away. Part of me expected her to come running and grabbing me, saying, "Please don't leave. Please stay," but that never happened. I went outside, I got my car, and I went home. Now that whole night I was up looking at my phone, wondering if she'd call or text or say anything. I just felt like I didn't have any closure. I know you guys probably would think, well, that was your closure, you ended the relationship, but for some reason, I just wanted to hear her say something. I really wanted an apology. I never got that apology, but that next morning she did text me. She texted me a good morning and proceeded with, "I hate that things ended with us, but if you could just walk away from me that easily, that says a lot about you and how you felt. Maybe it was meant for me to start adventuring outside of our relationship." Guys, I was so ticked off, yeah. I guess that was the closure. I blocked her on my phone and blocked her on social media as well. That's exactly what I should have done the night before. You guys leaving that open communication only gave her access to hurt me even more. I couldn't believe she said that. She just walked away from me. I swallowed my pride and I never reached out to her again. And I moved on with my life. That was part 1 of my experience with my ex-girlfriend. Something else happened later, and it was with the guy that she was with that night. So apparently, I guess they became boyfriend and girlfriend, just like that. I don't know how long she knew that guy or what, but they were boyfriend and girlfriend, so one night I joined a party of a mutual friend. It was his birthday party at his parents' house. His parents are known for having a really nice house in high school. We go there all the time and whenever there was an event amongst friends. They no longer live there, but they did rent it out. Sort of like an Airbnb type of situation, but only temporarily throughout the year. Anyway, I go to mutual friends' party, knowing that my girlfriend probably likely would be there. I wasn't going to tell my friend if she was there that I'm not coming, or he needs to uninvite her. I wasn't going to do anything stupid like that. I thought we were all mature enough to be around each other and just not be fazed by anything. I was over her by then. She did what she did. She walked out of my life, and that's cool. We're at the party, and her new friend is getting wasted to the point where he just eyeballing me. I told my mutual friend, hey, so you know the situation between me and my ex and her new boyfriend, right? He's over there looking at me like he wants to fight or something. My mutual friend, the host of the party, says, I'm going to go over and talk to him. Let him know nothing like that is going down here, or he can get his ash out. My buddy did speak to him. My buddy got back to me and said everything should be good. And he said that he told my buddy that wasn't even mugging me at all. He didn't even look my way. Didn't even notice I was there. I knew that was a flock of bullcrap. Dude was staring at me for a long time. I knew what it was about. I don't know what she told him. Maybe she reminisces about me because she misses me, talks about me a lot. I don't know, but he was mugging the heck out of me. I continued minding my business, talking to other friends, and here comes this jerk approaching me from behind. My girlfriend's new boyfriend. He says, hey, why are you telling people I'm mugging? Drunk out of his mind. I look at him and I said, dude, you were mugging me. Leave me alone. I'm over here minding my business. You go back over there. Mind your business. He says you don't tell me what to do. I will F you up in here. That's when I started to prepare myself, watching for a swing. I was going to duck or block it and knock his ash out when he threatened me again, and I felt like I was threatened to put him down. That's what I did. After he told me, I'll lay you down, boy, I hit him with the sharpest hook. He was so intoxicated, there was no way he was going to dodge it. I didn't think he was expecting it. I don't know if he thought I was just soft or couldn't fight. I don't know. I used to box in middle school and some in high school. I know how to fight. I come from a family of fighters. I guess technically I did assault him, but I felt threatened. But it could have been worse. You know, people who carry weapons sometimes feel threatened, and their first result is firing. He could have ended up in a very bad situation. Luckily, he just got his lip busted. As soon as I did that, the crowd kind of got quiet and everybody's gasping. Here comes my ex-girlfriend. What are you doing? You are freaking psycho. Why would you do that? I didn't have to say much. The people that I was around came to my defense. He came over here starting a fight, and some were saying that he pushed me, but he never pushed me. He never touched me. He did put his hand in my face, but he never really touched me. But I didn't say that. I'll allow people to defend me. My friend, who was hosting the party, picked up the loser and took him outside of the house. I told you don't start trouble in here. Now you gotta go. My ex-girlfriend threatened to stop being friends with the host of the party. His response was, Bish, I don't care. They didn't stop making friends when you were created. You can leave too. She was upset because he was kicking out her boyfriend who did nothing in her eyes. But everybody's telling her that he came over to me starting a fight. She didn't want to believe that. She knew good and well what was going on. It probably was all premeditated. He never pressed charges on me, and I did see him again after that at a clothing store. He was by himself, not with my ex-girlfriend. This guy looked at me and nodded his head saying, "What's up?" I nodded back, but I couldn't keep myself from smirking. This guy is soft. He really is. He was trying to impress my ex-girlfriend, but he needed the liquid courage to do so. But he got himself knocked out. What an idiot. Anyway, a true story epic. That's my story. Hopefully you can find a useful for your channel. Be easy, my guy.
Well, her new boy toy, he effed around and found out. You're right. He was gone off that liquid courage, and yeah, he got dealt with. You dodged a bullet with her too, though. She's a piece of crap. You catch her in the act, and it's crazy. You knew something was wrong. You had a gut feeling, guys. Trust that gut feeling. But you knew something was wrong, and you go in and you catch her red-handed. She just sits there and stares at you, and then has the nerve to text you the next day. Wow, it was meant for me to cheat on you. Because you just wanted to walk away anyway. You didn't even stay and try to take me. What does she want you to do? Like snatch her out of the chair and take her back and say, you're home now. You're not going out with anybody else ever again. Okay, I'm sorry. No, we're not doing all that. He told you how he felt. I don't like girls' night outs. I don't like all that stuff. And you lied and deceived him and you snuck out of the house and did it anyway. It was over. That truly was your closure. When she was just sitting there, like you knew she was cheating. It was your closure. To be honest, you didn't even have to go to the club. She wasn't at home. She wasn't at home, but I get it. You need that proof. You go to the club, you see her there. Okay, she's there. Boom, you see her there. It's over. You know, I guess homeboy, her new boyfriend, wasn't on that liquid courage that night because he didn't try to fight you then. But he got plastered at that party. And he said, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to show her that I'm the man for her. True simp. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments. If you want to send in a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. I'm going to catch you guys at the next one.